NZV8 magazine, new issue out now. And the cover car is this absolutely stunning big block 1967 Pontiac. Fat bottom girls make the world go round, and this XP Falcon Coupe is certainly doing its part. We all love the early Camaros. Let's see how the 2010 reincarnation stacks up. And we've got all the coverage of what was hot and what was not at the 2009 Speed Show. Smith's Group has car care products for you. The Ultimate Maguire's Pack and the new line Extreme Performance range. To win these great products, just go to v8.co.nz and hit win stuff. One of the rock stars of Australian muscle car racing is Paul Stubber, best known for his sideways driving style and his wild 69 Camaro, a car that's soon to find its way to New Zealand shores to take on the big horsepower beasts of the Central Muscle Car Series. As well as being a good bugger, Paul's got great taste in cars and is lucky enough to own 2 genuine HDT Group C Toranas, and he brought another good bugger, Jason Richards, with him to help him drive them.
G'day there, yeah, it's Paul Stubber. I reside in Western Australia. We get over to Eastern Creek for all the Muscle Car Masters because it's the best event in Australia. Behind we've got, I suppose, the prized possessions here this weekend. We've got 2 HDT cars. One that was run by John Harvey, he was on the East Coast, and then the other one, which is quite unique, is the 4 car, which was run by Wayne Negus in Western Australia. Ultimately, there's a lot of people that can remember the cars. It was a really sort of a very important and a time in motorsport for Australia. It was well followed. The HDT, the Holden dealer team from the time, they had a very, very big following, and everyone knows these red and white cars. They're standard on what they call a 308 Holden, and they came out with a T10 transmission and a Salisbury rear end. The cars fundamentally, they're very, very nice to race because they're over-tired and over-braked. They're not that big on horsepower, so we can go out and absolutely flog them to death and come back and turn around and do it again. They're great fun. We sort of had a bit of a deal on. We took off and see how we were going to go, and the cars are very, very similar. I thought he'd probably just check out on us, but I think he was very, very kind to me. In the last lap, I had a big dive at him, and I sort of just about speared off the track, so he got the win, and I think he deserved it. The cars are all valuable, and we race them, and if we break them, we fix them type thing, but they're race cars, and I'd like to see them after we've finished using them to someone that uses them on the track again. That's what they're built for. This event, plays an important part in encouraging people to get them out. So, the Muscle Car Masters has been a terrific, opportunity to get and to really encourage these people to get these cars out. We're still running under the same rules today, and we just absolutely, give these motors hell, and they keep going. So it's great. It's only around 400 horsepower, and that's about what they made in the day. They're about, my advice has been between 380 and 400 horsepower, and, people might think we've got lots more. Some of the Group A cars don't have the tyres that we've got, so we're able to run them down around the track, but normally when we line them up down the straight, they disappear on us. So, but it's good, we're able to run at least in the top 10 when we have a Group A race, but we don't sort of mind that. They're from a different era. We'd sort of are very, very happy if we get out and win a Group C. If we're the first Group C home in a combined race, that's a win for us.
Technology's definitely moved on, that's for sure. But these things, they're quite fast cars, but they're a little bit underpowered for the amount of tyre grip that they generate. Things like the brakes aren't too bad, but compared to my V8 supercar, braking technology's really moved on and a lot over I guess the last 30 years. It's got the big heavy steering wheel, and all the controls are sort of awkward. Compared to the modern day V8 supercar, where it's tailor-made to my body, and the race cars these days are very single-seater like, unlike these things which are very road car like. For me, I was born basically in 1976, so this is cars as old as me. I did this a couple of years, probably 3 years ago. It was pouring down with rain here, and it had a bore, and it was just drifting this thing sideways. But when you think of the value of this car, which I'd hate to think, but it's probably the best part of $500,000 these days with this sort of heritage. It's you know, I have to tread a little bit carefully at times. John Harvey, you know, was here last time I drove the car, and it was good to talk about some of the problems, you know, I've found with the car, the rear end. We hit the brakes, the rear end locks up and gets a bit unstable. And John was saying, yeah, they had those problems back in 1977, so we've kept this car, or Paul Stubber's kept this car very original, so it's got the same problems it had 30 years ago. These things have appreciated through the roof in the last few years. And you know, Australia's got some great motorsport history, and you mentioned it before about, you know, these guys were the pioneer of what I do today as a professional race car driver. So, you know, I'm walking in their footsteps, their hard work. I'm not getting paid to be here. This is Jason Richards having fun in motorsport, because funny enough, you know, motor racing is my job, and it has a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. And we come here, Eastern Creek, we've got my sponsors upstairs, we've got the fans in the grandstand. It's getting beamed out to 150 million homes worldwide. There's a lot of pressure on that, and for me, this is like when I was racing back in New Zealand. You know, this is fun. This is me rolling up my sleeves, getting it dirty, having a few beers with the boys, and generally just enjoy racing cars. And I don't get to do that very often, so, you know, I really do cherish the opportunity to be here this weekend and have fun and such great equipment. You know, I'm going through that stage. I've got a 2-year-old girl, Sienna, and a now, you know, brand new girl, Olivia. So I don't think it's the stage of my life where I'll own one in the next little while, but I'm sure one day maybe I'll own one of my old V8 supercars. You never know.
It's great to see no matter how professional it gets, real race drivers still drive cars just for fun. And all this fun on NZV8 TV has been brought to you by Smiths Group, suppliers of leading automotive brands. And NAC Insurance. Not quite standard? Well, neither are they. Check them out on nac.co.nz. And the answer to our question, the two drivers to have won back-to-back B&T V8 championships in 07-08 was John McIntyre. 04-05, it was me. Yes, me. It's all about me.